NBA 2K rating recap for January 14th, 2026. We have a lot of injuries to get to in this one. Toronto, they beat the Indiana Pacers 115 to 101. They moved to 25 and 17 on the year. Brandon Ingram leading the way with 30 points. Scotty Barnes, all-star performance, 26, 7 and 13. Colin Murray Boyles, another start at the 5, double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Emmanuel quickly was out for this one, so the Raptors were extremely short-handed in the backcourt, starting at Jamal Shead at point guard, 7.6 assists played, 34 minutes, and then Jamison Battle was the starting two guard in this one. He scored 5 points, but it was a return to form for Grady Dick, who played 30 minutes off the bench in this one. He doubled with 21 points and 11 rebounds. Hopefully that gets him going. He was, of course, the starting two guard for all of last year, so we'll see if this puts him back into the good graces of his coach, maybe moves him into the starting unit while everybody's banged up. Indiana, they lost their three-game winning streak, so they fall to 9 and 32 with this loss. Pascal Siakam led the way with 26, 10 and 4. Johnny Furphy doubled. He's been starting with Benedict Mathurin sidelined over the last 2 weeks or so. 10 points, 10 rebounds. Aaron Nesmith, his really feast or famine in terms of his offensive game. He had 6 points on 1 of 12 from the field. He's had some really brutal shooting nights this year and some really hot shooting nights as well, but ultimately his lack of performance cost them in this one. Quentin Jackson, he played. He led the bench in scoring with 14 points in only 19 minutes. So he has been productive. Getting minutes here and there. Right now, Nembhard and T.J. McConnell are both healthy, so he is getting most of his minutes at the 2 at the moment. Let's go on over to the Cleveland Cavaliers, who moved to 23 and 19 with a big win over the Sixers, 133 to 107. Donovan Mitchell leading the way with 35 points. Darius Garland, 20 points and 7 assists. But he hurt his foot in the third quarter, diving for a loose ball and left the game. Evan Mobley, the first of many injuries that we will discuss, by the way, tonight. Evan Mobley, solid all-around game for him, 17, 13, and 6 with 4 blocks. Jalen Tyson got the start at the 3 in this one, 12 points, 25 minutes. I have been talking about Sam Merrill not really being the answer at the 3. And Merrill, he ended up leaving this game in only 10 minutes. He left with an injury to his shooting hand. So Cavs lost 2 of their most important guards this season to injury in this game. DeAndre Hunter, 17 points off the bench. They're probably going to rely heavily on Tyson and Hunter in the interim, as Tyson's surely going to have to re-enter the starting lineup at the 2 guard with Darius Garland likely to miss time as he's dealt with some foot injuries this year. This was to his right foot at least, not the left foot where he had the toe surgery. But it's probably going to be Donovan Mitchell at the 1, Tyson at the 2, and then probably DeAndre Hunter at the 3, just kind of due to lack of alternatives. Maybe they start Lonzo Ball, who had otherwise been out of the rotation leading up to this. Yeah, Cavs just can't dodge the injury bug this year. Going over to Philly, they've done a pretty good job dodging the injury bug. Joel Embiid misses time here and there, but he hasn't gone down with any major injury really since returning from when he missed like 8 games or so. But 20 points for him. Paul George, 17. Tyrese Maxey had an off night, 14 points, 5 of 16 from the field. But Dominic Barlow, he also left this game due to injury, only played 8 minutes in the game, left in the third quarter with a back contusion after a scary fall. So 3 players went down in 1 game. Awesome. It sucks more for Barlow rather than Philly itself because they do have a little bit of depth. Everybody else on the team is healthy. Jabari Walker checked in for Barlow. They can play guys like Watford and Walker a little more. I just hope it's not serious for the sake of Barlow because he is on a 2-way contract and he is extremely likely to get converted, but if it's like a major injury, then that would end up getting delayed. So hopefully it's something he's able to recover from in a couple of games. I didn't get a chance to watch the fall itself, but going over to Chicago, they got a big win, 128 to 126 over the Utah Jazz. Bulls moved to 19-21 on the season. Nikola Vucevic had another game-winning shot, layup in this one with 4 seconds to go to take the lead. He had a season-high 35 points in this one. Kobe White was back in the lineup, but he was pretty ineffective overall. Had 6 points, 7 assists, but was 2 for 7 from the field in 30 minutes. Modest Buzelis, he was back at power forward to kind of match up with Utah in this one, but he only had 7 points, 2 rebounds in 19 minutes. All 5 Bulls reserves were in double figures, so the bench carried them in a big way in this one. Jalen Smith double-doubled off the bench, 12 points, 10 rebounds in only 17 minutes, which means the Bulls centers combined for 47 points in this one. We'll get to Utah's defensive performance in just a minute. But I did, unrelated to this game, I did get a chance to watch Tre Jones's career-high 34 in their last game against the Rockets. And my thoughts on it were, it was mostly just a bad defensive game for Amen Thompson. Tre Jones was left open for threes per the scouting report, because coming into this game, he was only 13 of 50 from 3, 26%. So, and he's never been a high volume 3-point shooter in his career, but they gave him space and he took the shots and he hit them. So from there, they had to press up a little more on him, and he was able to utilize his quickness and really blow by Amen Thompson. I felt like Amen just had a really poor defensive game overall, because Tre was just able to, Amen obviously is a much bigger player, so he was probably cheating off of him still, thinking that he's athletic enough to block him from behind. But there was a pretty good two-man game between Vucevic and Tre Jones in that game. Vuce set some good screens, and Amen just basically walked right into them. There were also some DHOs where Tre just lost his defender, and for a finish at the rim. So even though he was 5 of 6 from 3 in this one, he's not been shooting the 3 ball well at all. The 5 of 6 brought his 3-point percentage from 26% back up to 32%, 18 of 56 on the year now. So there's not actually any reason for me to change his 3-point rating from where I already have it. However, he did go up in overall rating for me when I just reviewed everything across the board. He's always been a really good driver. This year, he has doubled his free throw rate, which is really bizarre for a player of, he's 25 already, and nothing else has really broken out for him aside from just his free throw rate doubled. He's gone from a 3.5 free throw attempts per 36 minutes to 7 free throw attempts per 36, which is absurd for a point guard, much less one his size. So we'll see how that maintains. And he's not playing. That's not in like in like a small sample or anything. He's played about 900 minutes on the year. Really interesting little wrinkle for him. So I've got him at an 82 overall, which is essentially the highest rating for a non-starting point guard. Basically, among the he's a top-rated backup in the NBA, if not a low-level sixth man of the year candidate. Josh Giddey, for what it's worth, is most likely going to be back soon, probably at the start of next week. Jones, of course, has been starting the last 8 games that Giddey has missed. And Zach Collins was announced that he's originally it was only going to be like maybe 2 weeks, but he's always been a little bit of a slow healer. So I shouldn't say a little bit. He is a slow healer, so he's going to be out until after the All-Star break. Now let's touch in on Utah. They dropped to 14-26. Lauri Markkanen sat this one per usual just to ensure the tank, as did Yusuf Nurkic and Svi Mykhailiuk. So Jazz ran with a young lineup, and they also ran with Kyle Filipowski as their starting center. Had 19 points, but basically gave them nothing on defense. He's the future Nikola Vucevic. As the Chicago Centers again scored 47 points in this game. Ace Bailey started at the 4 in this one, which makes some sense to like cross match with Matas Buzelis. He had 10 points in 31 minutes, so he actually outplayed Buzelis in this one. And then Keontae George, he started at the 2 guard, essentially to cross match with Kobe White, and he definitely outplayed him, had 25 points, 7 assists. Isaiah Collier, he got the start, had 8 points, 4 assists at point guard in 22 minutes. But really the big performance for the night was Bryce Sensabaugh, who off the bench scored a career-high 43 points, 15 of 22 from the field, 5 of 10 from 3, 8 of 8 from the free throw line in 34 minutes. The Bulls just didn't really have anybody who could stop him. He is like a bigger shooting guard. He could use his body on drives, and he's just a really good shooter off the bounce. So he was cooking the likes of Kevin Huerter, for example. He's a pretty bad defender overall, and not a great passer or anything, but he is a bucket. And I've got his overall rating up to a 79, which is +3 from where 2Ks got it at. For what it's worth, also, I should note that the 82, the +1 for Jones, that's for my roster. It's a +3 from where 2K's got him at in their roster. They've had him at a 79 for pretty much the entire season. Going over to the Pelicans, they got a big win. They're 10th of the year, 10-33 now, 116 and 113 over the Brooklyn Nets. Trey Murphy led the way with 34. Zion Williamson, 25 points on an efficient 11 of 14 from the field. Derek Queen, only 4 points in this one, 0 for 5 from the field in 16 minutes. Have these two players ever had a good game simultaneously? They just do not play well together, which means that the Pelicans should be looking to move on from Zion Williamson, or they should just go back to staggering them, bring Queen off the bench, just so he has more of an opportunity on that second unit. And for what it's worth, that's what the Pelicans did in this game. Queen only played 16 minutes. Yves Missi came off the bench, and he double-doubled, 12 points, 12 rebounds, played 34 minutes. So, they were very coach. It's good to do this to young players here and there where they're not bringing the requisite energy level. You go in a different direction, and if a guy's going to bring it and another guy's not, you got to go with that. And Missi, of course, himself is a young player who's on his rookie contract. These guys are fighting for their careers at this point. So good for Missi to he came into the year as the starter. So if he can claw his way back into that role, it'll probably be better for the Pelicans. They need defensive players, not another offensive player. They've got offense covered between Zion and Trey Murphy. But regardless, they got the win in this one. Brooklyn, they dropped to 11-27. Only one more win now than the Pelicans. They have reaffirmed their tanking aspirations. Michael Porter Jr., 20 points, but shot 7 of 20 from the field in this one. Yegor Doman returned. He had 17 points, 5 assists, 5 of 9 from 3. Drake Powell got the start in this one. Again, 16 points, 5 rebounds. Terrence Mann came off the bench. 3 points, 17 minutes. He was the backup small forward in this one. Zaire Williams has missed the last 4 games or so. I believe just out due to illness and probably just another injury prior to the illness. But so Mann filled in. We'll see whether or not that sticks or not. Obviously, the Nets are not playing for anything, so they should be prioritizing the 20-year-old over the 28-year-old. Mann is, for what it's worth, a Brooklyn native, so they're not like actively looking to move him. I'm sure he is, probably good for the locker room. He's a solid vet, but again, trade deadline is around the corner, and they essentially got him as a salary dump. So, actually, that probably means that they wouldn't be able to move him because nobody's going to want to pick him up at $15 million a year, especially based on the season that he's had. He hasn't really done very much as the starter, and now losing his starting job. Not great, but That probably just means that he'll be the starting 3 once Michael Porter Jr. gets traded at the deadline. I wouldn't worry too much about what's going on. I have not really focused much on the Nets this season, aside from like their guys in the starting unit. 2K has focused in on some of these guys and given them some crazy ratings that they haven't really earned yet. A lot of badges to some of their rookies. I've yet to dive in on any of those rookies, but now that Powell is starting, I'm going to get to him. Danny Wolf, it's a little overdue that I get to him. I have been on top of Doman for most of the year, and Ben Sarath out with injury for the last 2 weeks or so, I believe. He hadn't been doing much, but Nolan Traore has basically been the backup point guard by default over that time. It's probably worth taking a look at him as he is in the rotation technically. Like Tyrese Martin was a DNP-CD in this one, so wouldn't hurt for me to touch up on some of these guys. Again, we'll I've got some stuff to do this week, in terms of my roster, so keep an eye on that situation. But the Nets, I believe, are my next team alphabetically, so we'll see how much focus I give them before I move on to the next one. Denver Nuggets, also for what it's worth, the next team alphabetically. They moved to 28-13 on the season with a 118-109 win over the Dallas Mavericks. Jamal Murray, 33 points. Aaron Gordon, 22 points at center. Peyton Watson, 18 points at the 4. They've already done this a couple games in a row now, so they're gonna just continue to win without Nikola Jokic. It doesn't hurt that they keep playing against the lottery teams, but Dallas, for what it's worth, they were a little bit shell-shocked in this game as they actually lost Cooper Flagg to injury during the game. He sprained his ankle and left after 15 minutes. Ryan Nembhard started the third quarter, so Flagg was starting at point guard in this one, but hopefully he doesn't have to miss a lot of time. I didn't see if it was a bad ankle sprain or not, but yeah, he'll probably miss at least a week is my guess. Najee Marshall essentially was the primary scorer playmaker by default at that point. He finished the game 24 points, played 38 minutes. PJ Washington made his return, was in the starting lineup. He had 12 points. Daniel Gafford also returned from a couple games out. He only played 17 minutes, though. He's been on kind of a minutes restriction pretty much the entire season. And Caleb Martin had a season-high 15 points, 7 of 9 from the field with Cooper Flagg out. So kind of him to reemerge a year after he was traded for. He has done pretty much nothing and has a god-awful contract that has aged really poorly since he signed it. Jaden Hardy continues to start as Max Christie also missed this game due to injury. D'Angelo Russell was a DNP-CD despite all the injuries, so probably looking like he's going to get traded at the deadline. The Chicago Bulls, the Sacramento Kings. We already did the Bulls, but the West Bulls beat the New York Knicks 112-101, moving to 10-30 on the season. DeMar DeRozan, 27-6-5, 12 of 13 from the line. He's been turning back the clock over the last month or so. Zach LaVine, 25 points, 5 of 9 from 3. He has also been playing a lot better since his recent return from injury. And then Precious Achiuwa, the ultimate revenge game. 20 points, 14 rebounds, 6 offensive, and then 2 steals, 2 blocks, 7 of 14 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. That's right, I'm still going on his line. 39 minutes. He had this one marked on his calendar. The Knicks did not offer him a contract. They signed Gershon Yabusele instead. And, oh man, Achiuwa made them pay in this one. Really nice to see for him. He started the year out of the league. Didn't sign a minimum deal until a couple weeks into the season. So, really, really good to see for him. He should hopefully not struggle to get a contract this offseason. We'll see. But Russell Westbrook, he also had a big line with 19 points and 11 assists, outplaying Jalen Brunson. Well, why did he outplay Jalen Brunson? Because Jalen Brunson also injured. Only played 5 minutes in this game. Sprained his ankle. Um, yeah. Oh my God. What a disaster. As the Knicks were completely shell shocked in this one. Miles McBride, 10 points, 6 assists. Tyler Kulek, 7 points, 5 assists. Mikal Bridges led the way with 20 points, or I'm sorry, 19 points on 6 of 20 shooting. Karl Anthony Towns, he wasn't able to pick up the slack. 13 points, 5 of 14 shooting. Who was the third quarter starter? Let me just check that real quick. Bridges, Anunoby, Kolek started the third quarter. So, yeah, if Brunson has to miss time, I guess they're going to Tyler Kolek as the starting point guard. That's not great. That's not great. Um, yeah. So Knicks shot 39% in this one against the vaunted Sacramento Kings defense. They were 20% on their threes, 8 of 41 overall. Oh boy. LA Clippers, they got a big win, 119-105 over the Washington Wizards, moving to 17-23 on the season. They are clawing their way back to 500, led of course by the Claw. Started this game at power forward, had 33 points, 4 steals, was 7 of 11 from 3, 8 of 8 from the free throw line, but only 2 for 11 from 2-point range. Very uncharacteristic for the mid-range master. James Harden, 22 points, 8 assists. Zubats and John Collins were both out for this one, and of course Derek Jones Jr. is still out with his injury. So Brook Lopez, he got the start. He had 11 points, and Yannick Conan Niederhauser played 23 minutes in this game. He had 16 points and was 7 of 7 from the field, which should hopefully get his layup rating up unless they were all on dunks. I'll check the shot chart tomorrow. But the Clippers will unleash him against lottery teams. He previously had a huge game against the Kings. I'm sure he would, look out if he ever played against the Bulls with Vucevic or the Jazz with Kyle Filipowski. But against the Wizards, he had a nice line. We'll get to part of the reason why in just a moment. But Kobe Sanders, he started at the 3 with, there he is, point guard, small forward, Kobe Sanders. With pushing Kawhi up to the 4, which they can get away with against the Wizards because their starting power forward is Chris Middleton. So essentially, they don't have a power forward either. So that certainly worked out. Jordan Miller, he's essentially been the 6th man on this team over the last week or two. 11 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists in 34 minutes. He's on the list of players that are a top priority for me to get a rating edit in on. And we're going to finish off with the Washington Wizards, who dropped to 10-29 in this one. Keyshawn George, 23 points. Chris Middleton, 17 points, 5 assists. Feels like he has a good game, and then he'll have like 3 bad ones after that, and then miss a game due to load management and all that. So he was good in this one. I think 5 assists was second on the team. I think Bub Carrington had 7, but obviously there's a huge playmaking void to fill with CJ McCollum no longer on the team, and Trae Young not slated to play for the team until possibly after the All-Star break. But big story in the game is Alex Sarr, 13 minutes ejected for spiking the ball. So Marvin Bagley, the third, he essentially filled in, explains why Niederhauser probably had such a big offensive game. 15 points, 11 rebounds for Bagley, but he's not really much of a defensive player. And then Bilal Coulibaly, yes, another player that got injured in this one, left this game with low back tightness, only played 10 minutes. So Bub Carrington played more than usual, but he was dreadful offensively in this one. Shot was not falling. 4 points, 1 for 11 from the field in 33 minutes. And that's our 2K recap for Wednesday. Let's real quick just see what's on the calendar for tomorrow. Thursday's usually a little bit of a lighter schedule than Wednesday, but this was kind of a lighter Wednesday schedule than usual. So we do have a heavier Thursday schedule. I wonder if that's actually shifting because football's over. Is it over? I don't follow football at all. If the regular season is over, then probably there's more Thursday night basketball games. If it's just going to be playoff games on Sundays and stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 games on Thursday, including some on Amazon Prime. Yeah, so it does seem like we're going to have more games on Thursdays moving forward. We're going to be leading off with Memphis versus Orlando at 2 p.m. on Amazon. That game is taking place in Berlin. Obviously, the return of what's his name? Not Mo Wagner. Well, Mo Wagner, he recently returned from injury. It's going to be his second game back, but it's actually going to be the return for Franz Wagner from injury, playing in his hometown. So that's going to be a nice story. Be sure to check that out. Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to review all 9 of those games, keep working through the 2K roster, keep updating my own roster, and hopefully have a few more anecdotes. I was catching up a little bit on them in this update. I think, hopefully you guys enjoyed some of those. Let me know if there's any more anecdotes that you want to see from players that I need to get to, as the league is vast and I can only cover so much in any given night. Thanks again for sticking with me this year. I will see you guys later tonight. Peace.